Okay, the next lecture is about experience economy and destination competitiveness. We're all tourist major students, so we should know about the competitiveness, what entails, what are the attributes, what comprises a destination to be competitive, um, and the experience economy, right? Because all the service is more or less about experience. So we're gonna learn what experience economy is about. Experience economy, yeah, it's about value. It's a progression of value. As you can see, if your beans or coffee is undifferentiated, obviously it's in the market, the pricing. But if it becomes more and more differentiated, becomes premium, the higher price that you could charge, and it people perceive it as to be premium and to be differentiated. Um, if you see economy here, aggregate, industrial, service. Now there's transition, right? It's moving toward what? Experience, right? They used to, in the agrarian culture economy, they sold what? Commodities. Industrial, they sold what? Goods. Yeah, like TVs or cars. Service, they sold services, right? Like coffee and things like that. But now, what? In the experience economy, what do they sell? They sell what? Experiences. Okay? The function of it is you extract, right? Goods, fruits and coffee beans and things like that. You make, right? You make cars and TVs and things like that. And for hotel or coffee shops, Starbucks, you deliver. And for experience, you say you stage. Yeah. The nature of offering is, I don't know what happened. Yeah. It's goods are tangible, services are intangible. Experience economy is memorable. And the key attribute is that it's natural, it's standardized, it's customized, right? Starbucks, you call by names and things like that. You put in what you want. And for experience economy, it's personal. Method of supply, stored in bulk, inventory after production, cars and things, delivered on demand, Starbucks, revealed over a duration. Okay, the seller is a trader, a manufacturer, a provider. Experience is a stager. The buyer is user, client, guest. Factors of demand, features, benefits, and what? Sensations. Six senses, right? So, experience economy is a concept that was introduced by Pine and Gilmore in 1999. Experience economy is the next economy, followed by agrarian economy, industrial economy, and service economy. The authors argue that businesses must orchestrate what? Memorable events for their customers, and that memory itself becomes the product, the experience, right? So, the Disney or Nike Town or Hard Rock Cafe, Disney, and things like that. The memorable events, right? Themed experience harmonize the impressions with positive cues, eliminates all the negative cues, and engage in all the five senses. So what they're trying to say is, your experience at Disney, theme it, okay, and put all the positive cues, right? You know, and eliminate all the negative cues. Also, all the statues and the good sounds and music and costumes. Those are all that harmonizes the impressions, right? And you try to touch all your five senses. Your viewing, your seeing, your hearing, everything. Okay, so that's this experience economy. They're saying that it is basically categorized according to two dimensions. Okay, participation, and that's the dimension of participation. Is it passive or is it active? Okay, are you actively involved with the participation, or are you passive? And absorption, yeah, do you just absorb it or do you yourself immerse into it? Okay, So the connection. So this part is connection, and that part is participation. And there are four realms. Okay, educational, aesthetic, escapist, and entertainment. Okay, um, and the sweet pot itself, right? Sweet pot. If you encompass, if your experience includes all these four sort of dimensions, that is called the sweet pot. That is, the best of the best, the richest experience that you could experience. So, if your connection, you absorb it, but you're passive, then what? It's like just TV, watching TV, right? But if you absorb, if the connection is absorption, you're just absorbing it, but you sort of active, yeah. You say something, you know, then it's language learning, sort of language lab things, right? If you're passive but you get immersed into it, it's what? Like galleries and things like that, right? If you actively involve in it, yeah, your active participation, and you also immerse it, you go into it, like playing games. Okay? And if you have all the four elements, it's called sweet pot, and that's the richest experience. Next is destination competitiveness. We learned about experience economy. What the reason why I taught you experience economy is that for you to see that from service economy, it's moving to experience economy. So the experience factor is becoming more bigger and bigger, like VR rooms or things like that, right? So those are things to even the brands that that are not experience focused. That's not like Disney or things like that. Still, you have to think about that the economy is moving towards experience economy. Yeah, so you should think about what the experience economy entails. Right, it's very compelling. Okay, destination competitiveness. Yeah, we're going to learn about destination competitiveness. We learned about Butler's destination, area life cycle before. Okay, so this is the tourist number and this time, and when it declines, what we're always, as strategists, you'd always try to rejuvenate, right? Make make it go up, rather than going down like this, decline, right? But there is that stagnation period, there's that development period, there's that exploration and involvement period. We learned this before, right? There was a whole slide to it. What? How do we know which destination is competitive or not? This is a model that was created 2004 by Durer. And what he's saying is based on whether if a country or destination is competitive or not is decided upon resources, the management, yeah, the situation of conditional demand, yeah, and that leads to competitiveness. Okay, and competitiveness. So we'll look at one by one. So resources here. Yeah, we're here. So as you can see, resources is endowed resources, natural heritage, or created, and supporting resources. Endowed, so it's divided into three, right? Endowed, created, and supporting. So we'll look at those three. Endowed, something natural like mountains, lakes, beaches, rivers, and climates. Yeah. Cultural. Yeah. So like endowed, these natural would be New Zealand. Yeah. Those resources. If it has a lot of those resources, obviously the competitiveness of the destination will increase. Culture and heritage. Yeah. Like England. Yeah. Obviously, if you have a lot of resources like that, that's cultural heritage. Your competitiveness of the destination will increase. Creative resources, accommodation, restaurants, organized tours, transportation, special events, available activities, entertainment, shopping. Sydney, Opera House. Those are all creative, right? If you have a lot of supply of that, also the competitiveness of your destination will increase. Supporting and enabling, facilitate visitation by adding value to the tourism experience. General infrastructure, quality of service, yeah, accessibility of destination. I said this before over and over again. The reason why Singapore and Hong Kong was number one destination, number 1, 2 in Asia, is because of what? Their airport and their airlines, right? Their infrastructure. Yeah, it's close to the city. There's a lot of stopover. Yeah, so a lot of people stop over. When I was going to Australia, I usually stop over either in Hong Kong or Singapore for a day or two. Okay, that's called supporting resources. Those will also increase what? The competitiveness of the destination. Okay, and the management. Yeah, management here. Destination management, government and industry. Enhance the appeal of core resources and chapters. The government, the public activities of destination management organization, destination marketing management, destination policy, planning development, human resource development, environmental management. So if the government, the public takes good care of the country and manages very well in terms of marketing, yeah, planning development, and environmental and policy and things like that, it will increase the competitive destination. Also private, like Lotte World Amusement Park, SM, YG, Lotte Duty Free Shop. Yeah, if these private institutions also um, try to enhance the appeal of the core resources and manages the destination well, yeah, it will again increase the competitiveness of the destination. And the demand, yeah, we're here, the demand. Yeah, the awareness. Yeah, what affects the demand of the tourist destination? The awareness, the marketing activities, drama, sports, and etc. There's perception and the preference. So these again will affect the demand of the tourism and increase the competitiveness of the destination. And situational conditions like wider external environment, yeah, environmental, political, legal, government, regulatory, technological, things like that. Those situation conditions also affect the destination competitiveness. Okay, operating environment. Different private and public sector institution and destination are important because the conduct and performance of these institutions depend on the overall structure of the industry. Remote environment, forces and events outside the destination that constrain them, like exchange rates, movements, government fiscal policy, world economic condition, demographic trends, and political stability, global warming, these things, remote environment also. So, like we know that Hong Kong went through SARS, yeah? Or there was the yen, Japan yen is also very low right now. If there's SARS, then people are reluctant. Those are situation conditions, right? They're reluctant to go. So the competitiveness of the destination will go down if there's SARS or some sort of virus and things like that. Whereas if the exchange rate of yen is so low, it's so cheap to go there, obviously the competitiveness of the destination will increase, right? And if their policy, government political policy, like how the government, Chinese government banned Chinese people to go on a low sort of low price package towards Korea, they banned it. Those kind of policies, yeah, causes the Korean competitiveness, Korea as a destination competitiveness to go down. Okay, and if the private or public sectors they don't operate, those institutions do not govern or look after their facilities and things like that, then obviously the competitive destination, so they're situational sort of problems, and that will affect the competitiveness of destination. So the outcome of the process is linked backwards to the various determinants of the competitiveness and forwards to social economic prosperity. So what it's saying is that, this again, yeah, it again, the destination of competitive affects the resources, the management, situational. It goes back to these. And when your destination becomes competitive, what does it do? It results a prosperity. Yeah. If your destination becomes more and more competitive, more inflow of tourists, then it brings prosperity to the country. The quality of life will increase. That's what it's saying. Okay, so real income of citizens increase, and standard of living, quality of life increases. Um, Push factors, yeah, are desire to satisfy individual needs and wants that pushes people to travel. Okay, pull or attractions will pull them to one destination instead of another. So K-pop will be the pull sort of factor. Yeah. Maybe good infrastructure, Singapore and Hong Kong will be a push factor. Okay. So these are all the sort of types of attractions. Natural attractions, man-made attractions, historic attractions, ethnic cultural attractions, special events, family and friends. If you have friends or family, then you are likely to visit. Business and medical services. Okay, these are all the attractions that makes the destination to be competitive. Okay, these are classification of attractions owned by ownership, by government, zoos, zoos, parks and things like that, and nonprofit organizations. Yeah, I don't know why that's keep on doing it. Sorry. Theaters, museums, yeah, festivals, history sites. Again, I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, and business sectors, shopping centers and resorts, golf courses. Again, it did that. Sorry, I might not use my cursor anymore. Okay, and attractions by resources, natural resources and cultural resources. Okay, it's classifying by touring and long stay. If it's touring attractions, these are all the touring attractions, and these are long stay. So it's a list of attractions, but you're dividing this way and you're dividing that way. You divide the attractions by government, nonprofit organizations, business sector. This you divide it by natural resources and cultural resources. This you divide it by touring and long stay. Okay. Again, attractions by commercial, public, and nonprofit, what those are, and what the services are, how the atmosphere is, hospitality, transportation, communication, promotion, and how you're supposed to market and research. So, yep, and attractions by the length of time. You staying 24 hours, okay, or 7 days. Yeah, which one you stay for 4 weeks, which attraction, 12 months. Okay. Shopping, less than 24 hours. Excursion, probably more than business travel, yeah. Vacations, more than 7 days, things like that. Okay, and it's divided by local community, how it affects region, national, and world. These are the activities that can be done that increases the destination competitive by the activities in rural areas. Again, I just categorized it. It was categorized like this. I mean, as a tourist major, you should know. These are sort of basic things that you should have. Yeah. Zonal division. Dividing the area by zone is also very, very important when you're planning. The important usage of both local residents and tourists are very important. A lot of times, government or businesses, they just, they plan something and they build something and they just expect the tourists to come. Yeah, but that will not happen because tourists are mostly what? Seasonal. And how about all the other times when tourists cannot come? Yeah, locals have to use the facilities. So you should always plan or build something that both is for local residents and tourists. So when the tourists don't come, then local residents can come. Okay? And the importance of having many complementing attractions in the surrounding area to create synergy. Okay, this is an example of Lego land, yeah, but in Legoland that they created. But along the course, they're trying to create other things, yeah, to create a synergy. Why? To create what? Path of attraction. That's very important. Okay. So Walt Disney also, when they created Walt Disney, they created nearby art museums, science center, historic museums, botanic gardens, and springs, all the natural and museums and things like that on the way. Yeah, to create a path of attractions. Why? To create a synergy. Okay, so that's the important part for planning. When you're planning for a tourist attraction, you should always think of zoning it, yeah, zoning and dividing it, and making what? A path of attraction. Why? To create a synergy. Okay, and you should also always try to attract not only tourists, but make the facilities also for local residents. Okay, that's two more slides. These are the sort of the 7 phases of travel experience. We learned about experience economy and things like that. But these are the 7 steps that people make. They accumulate mental images about the vacation experiences. And then they modify those images based on further information. They look it up. They probably have a preset image. And then they look it up and they, and then their images are modified. And then they decide to take a vacation trip. And then they travel to the destination. And they participate at destination. And they return home. And then they modify the image of brand experience again. So this shows the accumulation of the image, and again it affects the competitiveness of the destination because they decide after visiting whether if they have the positive image or not, and that leads to revisit intention and referral to other friends and family. So that again affects the destination competitiveness. These are the modes of travel. It's not wide enough, so probably cannot see it. Okay, yeah. It's classified again to day trips. Yeah, day trips. Yeah, you just go and then you just come back. Yeah, trips starting and finishing at home during home same day. As visitors, they must be described as short-time guests. Sometimes days are called excursions. Resort trip, A to B. As you can see, this comes back, but A to B. Yeah, trips to place where the major part of the stay is at the accommodation location. These guests are those often favored by marketing efforts. The reason might be the belief that the longer stay in the region, the more profitable those guests are for the area. So if you stay longer, obviously it's going to be more profitable. In some studies, resorts are extended to destination areas. Based holiday trips, the prime trip is going from home to a single accommodation, okay, with a longer stay than 3 nights. These visitors to take some day trips out of the accommodation area to visit attractions. So there are attractions, right? So probably this was home and then, attractions, right? This is home and resort, right? This is home and then resort, and then nearing resort, nearing accommodation, there are all what? Attractions. Okay, so that's the path that they take. Okay, this group of travelers should have been split into 2, those staying at base in the field area and those staying outside. Only the later group is focused in this paper, okay? It shows how they're moving. Tour operated groups. Mainly by coaches, where the travelers are visiting new places every day and night. A few of those trips are based on combining railroads and local scheduled bus routes. These groups are very often staying for a very short time, either visiting an attraction during daytime or just get a night's sleep in a local hotel. Okay, and there are round trip. I think this is tour operated road trips. Yeah. Passing through route outside interview area. So they pass through interview. And okay. Round trip are principally organized as a tour operated ones, but those driving in private cars have bigger freedom of individual choice during the trip. Some round trippers stay at same site for a couple of days, others just passing through. So that's home, yeah. And then they go to major attraction, recreation center, and then there's another, and then they go through what? Other service sites nearby, sort of recreation other sites. Okay, so round trips. So I'm showing you this so you could sort of calculate when you're planning for, for a site, for tourist sites and things like that. These are modes of travel. These are things that you should think about, and that is also related to what the planning, yeah, and creating path of attraction. That is the reason why I'm showing you that there are many types of modes of travel. Okay, that's it for the destination competitiveness and experience economy.